Alice, where did Daddy put your shoe? No, it's not here, is it? But your rabbit is, and I suppose you'll want that. It's going to be great. You're going to love it. Least of all, you will if I can get you dressed in time. Come on.
Little memento of last night's fiasco.
Wasn't a fiasco. It was great. We raised far more than I expected.
Yeah, even if I did have to bring a posse to protect your virtue.
We were coping perfectly well without you, thanks.
Wouldn't have missed it, though. Worth it for the look on Joe's face. Didn't know what he'd walked into.
Wash your hands and lay the table, Jack.
Of course, it's a good thing you got it out your system when you did.
Eh?
Well, you won't be able to carry on like that when you hit the big 4-0. You'll have to start being staid and respectable.
You ever had a wincy at night you stuffed up your nose?
Not that I can recall.
Well, it's the first time for everything.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I just wondered if you remembered I was going to go to Leeds today.
Oh, it's emblazoned on me heart.
Only I won't want to leave you short-handed, what with lambing and all that.
Michael, if we can cope with the wild bunch in thermal underwear, I should think lambing would be a piece of cake.
Right. But if you change your mind, I can always phone Rachel in council.
I get the distinct impression he's not keen on going.
Well, maybe he thinks he's got more in common with the sheep than Rachel's friends.
Come on, we ought to be going.
Yeah, right. I just want to make sure that I've got everything.
Nick, she's only going to a childminder for a day. She's not emigrating.
Yeah, I know. Beaker, nappies and change of clothes.
If you pack much more, we won't need the Range Rover. We'll need a removal van. Stop worrying.
Me? Worrying? No. Everything's going to be just fine.
Good. You know, you can always ring the childminder later on and see how she's getting on.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that then.
Right, shall we go?
Yep. Do you think one change of clothes is enough?
Out!
Morning! Morning. Bit early, aren't you? Oh, it's Chris. You've actually thrown me out of the house this morning. Barely had time to eat breakfast. What's he up to? I dread to think.
Right, this is the place I was telling you about in Sweden. It's a much bigger complex than ours, of course, but I still think we can learn a lot from them.
Yeah, it looks great. Quite a lot to take in first thing in the morning.
Sorry, I just wanted to get started. Now, the sort of advertising they're using is this. Now, as I said, the facility's a lot bigger than ours. I mean, you can do practically any sport you like here, but I still think we've got a lot to offer as well. We've got the pony trekking for a start.
Look, Joe, why don't we discuss this on site? And I can talk you through what's been happening while you've been away.
I thought you wanted to hear my ideas.
Well, you're making a full report, aren't you?
Yeah, of course.
Well, I look forward to reading it. Come on, let's get over to the village.
Chris, Eric Pollard. Hi. I think I've struck lucky with your mantelpiece. Yeah, it's come out of a demolition. I think you might have to pay a few extra bob for it, but it's a nice piece. Now, do you know Munro's Yard in Houghton? Yeah. Well, I'll see you there in about half an hour, okay? I didn't exactly get the right measurements, but I think it'll be all right. Right, I'll see you then. Bye.
Not interrupting anything, am I?
No, just a friend.
I see. Swapping a few vital statistics, were you?
Sorry?
I heard something about measurements.
What do you want, Charlie?
What? Don't be so suspicious, Eric. What's passing? Thought I'd drop in on you. All right?
Well, that's your prerogative, I suppose.
And how's Mrs. Feldman? Everything okay there?
Fine, thank you.
I saw her ex-landlady this morning. Seems to have hit upon hard times.
What are you talking about?
Kim Tate. I thought she was supposed to be breeding thoroughbreds.
She is.
Well, I'm no great authority, but the thoroughbreds I saw in that field look more like tired donkeys to me.
They're ponies.
A horse expert, Eric. I am impressed. So what's she doing with a field full of old nags?
I don't know. She rescued them at Christmas. That's all I know.
That sounds interesting. Tell me more.
Slow down a bit, Joe. I'm glad you've got all these ideas, but some of them sound a bit expensive to me. I've already sunk a lot of money into this site.
Frank, it's already down to using what you've got there. Like the pony trekking centre. The thing is how you sell it. Now, you take Chateau Fleury.
Hey?
Little farming community in France, near Strasbourg. I wrote you about it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've got some good contacts there, and I think the best way to follow them up is to revive the town twinning scheme.
What? Have you forgotten the Norwegian fiasco?
Oh, we don't need a lot of stupid committees voting who and where we twin with. I've got the ideal partner lined up.
Come on, Joe, I'm trying to run a serious business here, not some local joke.
Frank, this is serious. It's a chance to open up into Europe, get visitors from France and beyond. Come on, you're not going to turn your back on it just because Eric Pollard failed to sell Beckingdale to a few Norwegians.
OK, put it in your report. I've got to be going anyway.
It's enough to bring a tear to the eye. A lorry load of ponies saved from the butcher's slab. Touching, isn't it?
Look, I'd love to sit here and chat all morning, but I've got work to do.
I wonder what Frank had to say about all that.
One less lorry load wouldn't worry him. He's making a comfortable profit from the horse meat trade.
Really? That's very interesting.
Look, as I said, I've got work to do.
I want you to find out just how much he is making. So be helpful, dig out some invoices.
Why the sudden interest?
Such a sad business, the horse meat trade, don't you think?
It's sadder than any other livestock trade.
Your cold-heartedness horrifies me, Eric. Just get me that information.
Elizabeth's having a sideboard delivered.
Fascinating. But we're running low on splits. I did mention it last night.
She never said she was getting new furniture.
Well, I wasn't aware she had to have your permission in order to change her decor. And these optics need cleaning. And we are late opening.
Well, they looked all right to me, and I don't suppose there's a stampede waiting out there. Morning.
Morning, Lynn. What can I get you?
I'm just after a bit of advice.
Splits. So, how can I help you?
I'm thinking of taking the franchise on the Holiday Village shop. If I go for it, I'll probably apply for an off-sales licence.
I was afraid something like this would happen.
Sorry.
I thought Frank Tate's holiday camp was meant to bring prosperity to this village, not put people out of business.
I think you're exaggerating slightly.
Well, I hate to be a wet blanket, but you might not get your licence, you know.
You think so?
Well, certain local businessmen might object to another licence. Ernie Shuttleworth at the malt shovel, for one.
And then there's Alan Turner at the Woolpack.
No. In spite of my little outburst, I really don't object to competition in business. But I do have the interests of the community to consider. We don't want the village running amok with lager louts, do we?
We certainly don't.
Yeah, thought you'd see sense.
But a few people at the Holiday Village aren't going to appreciate the sort of setup you've got here. Good restaurant, fine wines, export lager and cheap plonk will be all thereafter. So I thought if we got together and talked about it, we could possibly come to some sort of an agreement.
You've got to give him a chance to run things his own way, Frank.
Yeah, but town twinning isn't exactly the image I'm looking for. After the last shambles.
Oh, sorry. I was just wondering if it's at all possible I could use the phone and see how Alice is getting on.
Yeah, feel free.
Oh, thanks.
Frank, if Joe thinks he can make a go of it, you've got to trust him.
I can't risk it, love.
You must.
I sent him halfway across Europe. I thought he'd come back with something a little more novel than town twinning.
Yeah, all right, Frank.
Hello? Oh, it's Nick Bates here, Alice's dad. I dropped her off this morning, remember? Yeah, well, I was just calling just to... Oh, right. Oh, well, sorry for bothering you. Yeah, bye.
Well?
She's asleep.
Sounds like she settled in all right then.
So maybe you can get back to work.
But hang on, she's never asleep at this time. It's always around 1 o'clock. You could set your watch by her.
Oh, come on, Nick. I'm sure the childminder isn't drugging her or something.
It's probably just a change in routine.
Yeah. Maybe I'll call again later, just to be on the safe side.
Frank, it is only the first day. You've got to be a bit understanding.
Right. I've got to understand about Nick's childcare. Be careful not to tread on Joe's sensitivities. What am I running here, a business or a therapy clinic?
You will be able to get it finished today.
Maybe.
There'll be a new mantelpiece arriving later.
Mantelpiece?
Nothing about a mantelpiece on this sheet. It won't cause you any problem, will it?
Well, it will if you want it finished today.
Oh, come on.
A fire and a mantelpiece. It's a 2-day job, isn't it?
Look, I wanted it all in and working by tonight. It's a surprise for my wife, you see.
Sorry.
There's no way you can do it all by this evening.
Well, hey,
If we got Greenie in, we could probably do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. 3 of us could handle the job in a day. Of course, it'd cost you.
I thought it might. How much?
Extra 50 quid?
Done.
Right. What time's your wife due back? 5:30-ish? Yeah, well, you better stall her for an hour or so. We should be finished here at about 6:30.
What should I tell her?
Well, search me. I'm a fitter. I'm not an agony aunt.
Hi.
What are you doing?
Practicing tap dancing. What does they look like? I'm measuring up.
What for?
I've been talking to Frank about getting the franchise. Didn't he tell you?
Hello, Joe. How was the trip?
Fine.
How's the report looking?
Don't ask. Look, what's all this about Lynn Whiteley in the shop?
Oh, that. Well, it all sort of came to a boil when you were away.
But I'm supposed to make the decisions.
It was all a bit rushed. How much has he told you about it?
Nothing yet. I mean, I wouldn't know now if I hadn't bumped into Lynn Whiteley.
Well, there's nothing signed or sealed yet. I think she and Dad have just talked it over informally, you know.
I should have still been informed, though.
Yes, of course.
I mean, I've only been back 5 minutes, nothing's changed. He's still interfering.
Look, see how it goes, Joe. You're going to be busy looking for staff over the next few weeks. Dad'll keep out of your way, I'm sure.
He's talking about recruitment too, is he? I don't know, it's times like this I wonder if I made the right decision in working for Frank Tate. Look, fancy a drink?
No, afraid not. I'm having a new fire fitted. I want to see how they're getting on.
Right. I'll let you know if I find out about the holiday village when I get down there. They probably know more about it at the pub than we do.
Can I help with anything?
Oh, you're all right. So far, so good.
I shouldn't have persuaded you to let Michael go swanning off to Leeds.
Well, the lad works hard. He deserves a break. You don't begrudge him spending time with Rachel, do you?
Well, you work hard too. Nobody gives you any time off.
Well, it's different when you're the boss.
We still need help, you know. You can't do everything.
Only for a couple of days.
I don't care. You can't afford to make yourself ill.
I'll think about it.
Good. Lunch. I've made some stew.
I think I'm off to the Woolpack.
Oh, thanks very much.
Oh, I just want to get away for an hour. I won't be long.
Hello?
What's going on?
What do you mean?
Well, you haven't done anything.
Might look like that to you.
So what have you done?
Rerouted your gas pipe for the new fire. All right.
Could you still get it all done by tonight?
Look, we'll do our best. Just don't get your hopes up.
And what happened to Greenie, your extra pair of hands?
He's gone for his dinner. Have you got a problem? I mean, if you're not satisfied, we can always go, you know.
No, just ignore me.
Well, I think it's a right good idea, as long as you don't let Eric Pollard near it this time.
Yeah.
But if you want somebody to show some of them French beauties round village, ask me, you need somebody with local knowledge.
I'll bear it in mind, Seth.
I thought Strasbourg was in Germany.
Sounds like Frank Tate's been pretty busy behind your back.
Yeah. I tried to let on to Lynn Whiteley, I knew nothing about it, but made me feel a right idiot, I can tell you.
Well, I'm not going to say I told you so.
But you told me so.
That's the way Frank works, isn't it? Can promise you what he likes, but he's always got his eye on the main chance. It's his way of doing business, Joe, and if you don't like it...
I can always go back to farming.
It's up to you, isn't it? You could stay there and let him walk all over you.
Yeah? What's the alternative?
Well, you can go back to...
Getting some new furniture in?
No.
Oh, well, I was sure I saw a sideboard being delivered earlier.
Oh, that.
It looked very nice.
Well, I thought it'd come in useful.
You know, we could always lay on a special evening for them in the restaurant. Continental cuisine.
Well, frog's legs and snails and that.
I can't see that going down very well with your regulars.
That's not what they eat in Strasbourg anyway. It's all, well, sauerkraut. You know, frankfurters and sauerkraut.
That's right. They're German.
I don't know what we were expecting to find out, but when we got there, it was thermal knickers being handed around, not dope. So it turned out okay in the end.
Well, it sounds as if Beckendale's livening up a bit. I hope you don't find Leeds too dull. Anyway, I got a few things organised. Ali'll be back soon. Got some friends coming round later.
Oh, terrific.
Michael, I know how you feel about students, but loosen up a bit, eh? You might even enjoy yourself.
Yeah, OK.
You've got nothing to lose, but your prejudices.
Look, I've got a lot on today, Joe. I'd be much more interested if you put them down on paper. I haven't had time to have lunch.
I'm sorry.
Not even a cup of tea.
Yeah, but any decisions on recruitment should have been discussed with me first.
I've done nothing about recruitment. I haven't even approached anyone yet, let alone set up any appointments.
How about Lynn Whiteley?
Alice is fine now.
Well, I'm sure we're all relieved to hear that, Nick. Lynn Whiteley was talking about putting some money into the place. That's got to be worth following up.
I should have still been consulted, though.
I barely knew where you were.
Well, you could have told me this morning.
I forgot. I've got a lot on my mind at the moment. Anyway, it's not that important, is it?
It is to me.
Of course it is. And I think there's something else we better get sorted out while we're about it. The world did not stand still because you were away. If there were decisions to be made, then I had to make them. That's business. I promised to give you a free hand, but that doesn't mean I have to ask your permission every time I want to blow my nose.
Thought I'd better warn you. Joe's planning to drop in on you tonight.
So?
I saw him in the pub at dinner time. He's not too happy about the way you're carrying on.
What do you mean? The place is clean, isn't it? It should be. I spent the whole day tidying it up.
Well, look at it from his point of view. He comes home from Europe, and what does he find? His stepson arm in arm with some strange lass and a party in full swing.
But that was all a mistake. I didn't hold the party.
Tell that to Joe.
Oh, come on, Jack. You know the truth. You know I was here doing my revision. Couldn't you have a word with him? Put him straight?
Family squabbles. You can leave me out.
Thanks a lot, Jack.
Oh, never mind. The worst he can do is stop your pocket money. Just thought I'd warn you.
Great. That's all I need.
Well, it's in. And it's working. Race against time, but we made it. Didn't want to let you down, see?
Thanks. About the mantelpiece?
Yeah, well, that'll need finishing off, of course.
I thought we agreed you'd finish it all today.
Well, what can I say? We did try.
What about helping with the tidying up?
Ooh, not our job. Sorry. We'll get back to you about the mantelpiece. Hope your wife likes it.
Poor old Joe must have thought he'd caught the wrong plane home and landed in the middle of a vice raid in Amsterdam.
Was Archie there?
Yeah, well, no posse would be complete without him. There he was, 6 guns at the ready in case anyone made any rude suggestions about his wife fronts. I tell you lot don't know the half of it stuck here studying day and night.
Oh, yeah.
You're a brave girl, Rachel, going back to that lot.
I'll risk it.
Well, I think we all might come. It sounds a lot more fun than a tutorial with Professor Radford.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think?
So this is why you told me to stay out of the way.
Come on, what do you think of it?
Oh, Chris, it's lovely.
No more cleaning out the mucky old grate. Well, I know they made a bit of a mess, but like Kim said, we'd have had to redecorate if we kept on using an open fire.
Oh, love, it's fabulous. It makes the place look really cosy.
Of course, we'll have to get someone in to fix that, but it's not a big job, and it seems so right for the place.
Chris, this must have cost a fortune.
No, not really.
Oh, come on, I know how much these things cost. Remember, we've priced them.
I shopped around. I picked it up in a salvage yard for next to nothing, and the fire was only a few hundred, so when you think we've got cheap heat now, we're saving money, really. It's a bargain.
Yeah, it's lovely.
You sort out your differences with Frank Tate?
Not exactly. Oh, he says he's giving me a free rein, but sometimes there's a difference between what he says and what he does.
Well, what do you expect? That's how he got where he is. You're just going to have to learn to play the same sort of games, if you want that sort of life. Look, admit it, Joe, you were better off farming. At least you knew where you were.
I think we're in for a busy night.
Yeah. I said I'd look in on Mark.
Not that way. We promised Mark his independence and privacy. Use the front door.
Liberals.
That pushed it, eh, Jack?
What do you mean?
Joe's angry enough without you heaping coals on the fire.
Well, it's not my fault if I agree with him, is it?
Oh, a cup of tea and then back to the lambing. Where are you going?
Next door. I know who'll help us out.
Mark, you can't. He's got school tomorrow.
Don't worry. Trust me.
So, how did it go?
She seemed okay when she got back. Went off to sleep, no problem. I've just got to keep my fingers crossed that it'll all work out for the best.
Oh, of course it will. All you needed was a bit of organisation.
I could get that housework done, I'd be really laughing.
Is there anything I can do?
No, thanks all the same.
Well, I don't mind, you know. I wouldn't like to see my granddaughter living in a tip.
Oh, thanks very much, Elizabeth.
You know what I mean.
Well, can you fold sheets?
With my eyes closed?
Right then, well, come on. Get that coat off of yours. This'll teach you for volunteering your services.
Is this all the food you got in the house?
Yep.
What have you been eating?
Beans, mainly.
Well, not good enough, is it? What happened to your allowance?
What do you think happened to it? I spent it.
That gives you more, then. Mind you, if you will waste it on wild parties and making a nuisance of yourself.
Well, that wasn't Mark's fault, Joe. No, that's down to me and Sarah. We knew all about his party, we just got the dates mixed up, that's all.
Oh. Well, I'm sorry, I got hold of the wrong end of the stick.
Oh, that's all right.
Anyway, I was wondering if Mark could give us a hand with the lambing, what with Michael being away.
What problems?
I don't know. Got one been in labour a bit long for my liking. I've separated her out, but she still doesn't look too clever. Sarah's willing, but she's had a tough day and she's knackered already. I've got to look after her in her old age. It's the big 4-0 Wednesday.
Oh, yeah? You got anything planned?
Nothing special.
Well, look, there's no need to bother Mark or Sarah. I'll do it. I'm just going to sort something out here first and I'll give you a hand.
You sure about that?
Hey, listen, I'm here. I know what to do. Makes sense, doesn't it?
Thought you'd given up farming.
Don't push your luck.
Would I dare?
As you once said, farming's what I know. Right, Mark, you better take this so we sort something out properly. And it's for food, for you. No parties. Got it?
Okay. Yep.
Can't keep my eyes open. I'm off to bed. See you in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Night.
Thanks.
What for?
For making an effort, I suppose.
Well, it wasn't much of an effort, really. They're not such a bad bunch.
Careful, otherwise I'll start thinking that you really like my friends.
Well, I ain't got anything against them.
Good. It's important to me.
Yeah, I know. But it was easier for me tonight, because, well, I've got a job now. And I feel more sure of you.
I hope so.
Well, I'm glad they all went anyway.
Why? I haven't got any other plans for tonight.
I have.
How's it going?
Slowly.
Should I call the vet?
Joe seems to think he can cope.
She just wanted to keep us waiting for a bit. And you old girl. Woman's prerogative. You're going to be fine now, aren't you, eh? Yeah, just fine.
It's good to have you back.